Breaking news, this is just in. China is supplying boots on the ground to Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Yes, boots are going on the ground. Hundreds of people in China's military are currently or already in Burkina Faso to protect this president. These are unprecedented times. These are times that we have never seen before. But why is China doing this? Leave a comment down below. But let me tell you what I think. China is doing this because this is their ticket and their key to ancient negotiations and ancient networks. Because if you didn't know, the Songhai and Mali Empire had indirect ties to trade with China in ancient times before America was even a thing. And so now these ancient kingdoms are getting back together to protect and promote independence in the global south. This is going to crush Western economies even further, and you need to be on the right side of this. So family, as you may know, Burkina Faso's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, is promoting Pan-African unity. He's promoting independence, and guess what? He does not care what coon, what corrupt African leader does not agree with him. He is here, and he is here to stay, and this is becoming a thorn to Western superpowers, which is why China is here, or is in Burkina Faso, ready to protect the best president that we have on earth right now. If you think for one second that this is not prophetic, and it's a sign of the times, I urge you to reassess your mindset and reassess what you're thinking right now, because China is basically like a world away from Burkina Faso, but they are flying in to protect President Ibrahim Traore, not to negotiate with America, not to be close to America, not to have better ties with America, but to protect Captain Ibrahim Traore, okay? So China's presence means long-term economic deals for the Sahel nations of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. For such a long time, I'm sure these countries felt like they were all alone. They were partaking of this revolution if we start back to just 2022, when Captain Ibrahim Traore actually was able to take office and to be the current president of Burkina Faso today. So he started working with Mali and Niger, and I'm sure they felt like, man, it's only us three countries. You got ECOWAS over there that has some sellouts in it, some questionable figures over there. And so they probably felt very alone, which is why very early on, they created this three-strand cord, this band of these three countries working together to have their own passport, have their own trade, and protect each other no matter what. But 2 to 3 years later, it's 2025. Not only are they working with each other, but now China. To be quite honest, China is probably the main global superpower. Honestly, I think they have more power than America because they have more economic power and they have more people dispersed throughout the earth. China does, okay? Although America in times past was known for its militarization and all of its embassies and its strong arm that it used to have, it doesn't matter at this rate because now China is sending troops to Burkina. Meaning if the US tries to send another spy, another puppet, another agent provocateur, China says, no, we got his back as well. And let me tell you something about Asian people if you didn't know. They don't have a capitalist mentality. This is why Africans and Asians get along so well rather than Westerners, because they don't have a capitalist mentality. There's no amount of money that you could pay these people to oust their leader or to get over on Captain Ibrahim Traore, okay? We are in a new age. These people don't care about money. One of Captain Ibrahim Traore's own people was offered $5 million to take him out. And you know what the brother did? He went to him and came to him and said, yeah, they're trying to offer me $5 million. Isn't that crazy? And you know, I have another article on this topic that I want to read to you. This is from actually the China News. Not doing CNN, not doing, you know, whatever. This is from China News, scmp.com, a Chinese news publishing company, and it's under the segment China-Africa Relations, okay? China Diplomacy. How China is filling a weapon supply gap in Africa Sahel, left by France and Russia, okay? Beijing is expanding its military footprint in the region with rapid deliveries of affordable equipment, not equipment that they're loaning out at exorbitant, crazy rates and putting them into debt. Affordable equipment. This tells me, just from if I'm functioning and trying to discern the fruits of the spirit, I'm discerning they're giving them affordable supplies, equity, access. That tells me that China is not the bad guy here, despite what Western media would want to tell you. China is stepping into a weapons supply breach in parts of Africa's Sahel as authorities in the region cut ties with former colonial power France, and Russia struggles to replace its depleted stocks. The buyers include Burkina Faso's military, which took delivery of 116 infantry carriers and 6 assault vehicles from China in 2024 alone. But let's zoom forward real quick. I'm going to leave that article in the description. Let's zoom forward. That was last year that they supplied these military equipments. But now China is saying, you know what, let's do phase 2, which is where we have boots on the ground to help protect this land in Africa, to help protect the Sahel states. Because at the end of the day, China helping Burkina Faso helps Mali, Niger, and any other African country that is looking to be economically free, that is looking to stop depending so much on the International Monetary Fund Bank, which cripples African economies. This is a beautiful time to be alive. Let me know what you think of this down below. I think this is so prophetic. I think if we throw away the Western Christian religion and the Western Catholic mindsets and we just go with truth, the biblical truth, and even some Muslim people can understand this concept. A lot of Muslims understand this concept. If we just look at the fruits of what is happening, we look at the fact that the Sahel states, all of them had been completely oppressed, that in ancient times they were proponents of some of the biggest empires. Components of the Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso empires were like the Songhai Empire, the ancient Mali Empire that had Timbuktu. By the way, Timbuktu had the best libraries. People from all across the world, Europe and China included, would come to Timbuktu to study under whoever it was that was ruling at that time. Don't forget, they also had Mansa Musa at that time during the Dark Ages. What they teach in Western school systems was the Dark Ages, was Africa's Renaissance. Africa was thriving in the Dark Ages. But it looks like we're going back to the Dark Ages with these ancient trade routes. I think this is also a time for you to start to ask yourself maybe some difficult, uncomfortable questions like, where do I want to be in all of this? Do I want to start to invest in African economies? Do I want to have proximity to both Africa and China and have these relations open, have these networks open? Because at the end of the day, one thing I can guarantee, and you can guarantee it as well, is that Babylon is falling. You just need to make the decision if you want to fall with it. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.